It was after 17 years of ministry that I did my first funeral of a person who died by suicide. That it's led me to research and to equip myself to be a better pastor and to have better awareness of how to deal with issues of mental illness. That led me to continuing education with NAMI and Samaritan Counseling. In that year of study with other church leaders, it helped me to understand people and how mental illness impacts their lives. Let me introduce to you Maren Peterson, Executive Director of NAMI.
So NAMI is the regional affiliate of the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI Fox Valley has been around for about 38 years now. We started off as a very small organization with no paid employees, totally volunteer run, and serving, a few dozen people to now serving over 15,000 people a year through 2 locations and over 20 employees. So we've really had a lot of growth over the last 38 years. Our mission is to break down stigma, provide education about mental illness, and provide support to everybody who's touched by mental illness.
How many people do you help here out of the Fox Valley NAMI Center in a year, or do you have any statistics?
It has been for the last few years over 15,000 people a year. It's gone up a couple years to over 17,000, close to 18,000 people who we touch with our programming. As I said, it was about 4,000 local school students last year. We also touch many thousands through our community outreach programming at other organizations, businesses, and just general community. We graduated about 100 people from our multi-week courses, educational courses for peers and family members. We also fielded over 3,000 calls to our warm line, providing peer support over the telephone. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We really have been able to serve an ever-increasing number of people every year, and it's really gratifying to see how many people are taking advantages of the services that we offer.
I learned NAMI is a hub and a resource for our community, but does not provide direct services for counseling to an individual. We are learning more and more each day about how mental illness affects individuals, and we need to learn that more about how it affects the community as well. So I asked Maren for tips about walking with someone with mental health issues.
Excellent. What tips can you share about awareness for people to be able to talk to someone who might have mental illness or be able to communicate with them?
So the most important thing is to be a good listener, which is true pretty much always in life, but is particularly true when people are talking about their mental health. Just to be receptive, open, let people share their story with you. And you're not always going to have the answers. Hopefully, if you have resources that you're aware of, you can help connect people to resources, but being a really empathetic listening ear is always going to be the most important. The other thing is, if you are somebody who is struggling with your mental health or has struggled with your mental health, talking openly about that to people is really important.
After learning tips about how to share with walking with someone with mental illness, Maren showed us the library of resources that can be checked out by people in the community. Their office is located at 211 East Franklin Street, Appleton.
In terms of need in general, I think that the most important thing that we need to do is something that I mentioned earlier, which is really holding space for the conversations about mental health. Not being afraid when somebody does bring up mental health or mental illness, being receptive, accepting, willing to listen, and not being afraid to share your own story if you're struggling or to ask for help if you need it. I think the more that we talk about mental illness and about mental health challenges, the better off we all are. It not only breaks down stigma, but it increases mental health in the community.
You talked about a spiritual support group that's out there for people. Maybe share a little bit about that, or are there other groups that you have that we might see when we're out in the community?
Sure. So we have a spiritual support group for individuals who are struggling with their own mental health, as well as a spiritual support group for family members. And those groups offer an environment where individuals who are experiencing the mental health challenge or who are related to someone who is can share about their challenges, their journey, but approach it from a spiritual basis. It doesn't have to be any particular religion or kind of spirituality. Really, it's broadly defined and just provides a safe space for individuals who would like to approach their mental health journey or their family member's journey through that lens. We also offer a women's group, a men's group, a young adult group, a parent and caregiver group. So there are many different specific groups that we offer, as well as a number of general groups for anybody who either is experiencing a mental health challenge or is a family member.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I should mention is that we have a number of weekly support groups for teenagers. We have one in Appleton, one in Neenah, a bilingual group in Menasha, a group in the Greenville area, as well as 4 groups in Waupaca County. And so we really have been expanding those teen support offerings, and I would encourage anyone who's interested to visit our website. The details of them are a little bit too much to go into, but all the information is on our website.
I thank Maren for our time together, and I felt drawn more closely to NAMI and their mission to care for people in our community. I love their t-shirts and the message it has on that, which is to be kind to one another. And as we follow Jesus, we too can be kind to one another.